Hi students, I am Professor Kshitij Bansal. I am teaching at the Law School of Jindal Global University. We are going to discuss the module titled Right Against Decolonization as a facet of right to development today. What will you learn from today's discussion? You would be able to know how decolonization is a part of the right to development and how it is a group right. Right to development is a group right because it aims at the rights of the people or the country to remain developed in all aspects social, political, cultural, economic, etc. So, unless the people are able to govern themselves, none of these developments will be possible. So, decolonization assumes a lot of importance. The United Nations has created a body called the International Trusteeship Council to take care of the interests of the trust territories and to help them achieve their independence. In a vast political reshaping of the world, more than 80 former colonies comprising some 750 million people have gained independence since the creation of the United Nations. At present, 17 non-self-governing territories across the globe remain to be decolonized, home to nearly 2 million people. Thus, the process of decolonization is not complete. Finishing the job will require a continuing dialogue amongst the powers, the Special Committee on Decolonization, and the people of the territories in accordance with the relevant UN resolutions on decolonization. The 17 NSGTs are Western Sahara, Anguilla, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, Falkland Islands, Montserrat, St. Helena, Turks and Caicos Island, US Virgin Islands, Gibraltar, American Samoa, French Polynesia, Guam, New Caledonia, Pitcairn and Tokelau, Western Sahara, Anguilla, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, Falkland Islands, Montserrat, St. Helena, Tuxpan, Caicos Islands, Gibraltar and Pitcairn are administered by the United Kingdom. US Virgin Islands and Guam are administered by the United States of America. French Polynesia and New Caledonia are administered by France, whereas Tokelau is administered by New Zealand. As a part of the right to development, these places have the right to be administered by their own people, and UN is on its way for the realization of that. There are various documents which deal with the right to fight colonization, starting from the UN Charter. Article 73 of the United Nations Charter states, members of the United Nations which have or assume responsibilities for the administration of territories whose peoples have not yet attained a full measure of self-government recognize the principle that the interests of the inhabitants of these territories are paramount and accept as the sacred trust the obligation to promote to the utmost within the system of international peace and security established by the present Charter, the well-being of the inhabitants of these territories, and to this end, to ensure with due respect for the culture of the peoples concerned, their political, economic, social and educational advancement, their just treatment and their protection against abuses, to develop self-government, to take due account of the political aspirations of the peoples, and to assist them in the progressive development of their free political institutions according to the particular circumstances of each territory and its peoples and their varying stage of advancement. To further international peace and security. Fourth, to promote constructive measures of development to encourage research and to cooperate with one another, and when and where appropriate with specialized international bodies, with a view to the practical achievement of the social, economic and scientific purposes set forth in this article, and to transmit regularly to the Secretary General for information purposes, subject to such limitation as security and constitutional considerations may require, statistical and other information of a technical nature relating to economic, social and educational conditions in the territories for which they are respectively responsible other than those territories to which chapters 12 and 13 apply. Article 76 of the UN Charter deals with the establishment of International Trusteeship Council, the objective of which is, inter alia, to promote the political, economic, social and educational advancement of the inhabitants of the trust territories and their progressive development towards self-government or independence, as may be appropriate to the particular circumstances of each territory and its peoples, and the freely expressed wishes of the peoples concerned, and as may be provided by the terms of each trusteeship agreement. Declaration on Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and Peoples of 1960. The Declaration considers decolonization as a part of self-determination and as a part of right to development. It focuses on the following points. The subjection of peoples to alien subjugation, domination and exploitation constitutes a denial of fundamental human rights, is contrary to the Charter of the United Nations, and is an impediment to the promotion of world peace and cooperation. All peoples have the right to self-determination. By virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. Inadequacy of political, economic, social, and educational preparedness should never serve as a pretext for delaying independence. All alarmed action or repressive measures of all kinds directed against dependent people shall cease in order to enable them to exercise peacefully and freely their right to complete independence, and the integrity of their national territory shall be respected. Immediate steps shall be taken in trust and non-self-governing territories or all other territories which have not yet attained independence to transfer all the powers to the people of those territories without any conditions or reservations, in accordance with their freely expressed will and desire, without any distinction as to race, creed or color, in order to enable them to enjoy complete independence and freedom. Sixth, any attempt aimed at the partial or total disruption of the national unity and the territorial integrity of a country is incompatible with the purposes and the principles of the UN Charter. All states shall observe faithfully and strictly the provisions of the Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the present declaration on the basis of equality, non-interference in the internal affairs of the states, and respect for all the sovereign rights for all the people and their territorial integrity. Let us now talk about some other UN initiatives. Special committee was established by the General Assembly pursuant to its Resolution 1654 of 27th November 1961. The Special Committee was requested to examine the application of the Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and Peoples, contained in Assembly Resolution 1514 of 1960, December 14th, and to make suggestions and recommendations on the progress of the implementation of the Declaration. By its Resolution 1970 of 16th December 1963, the General Assembly decided to dissolve the Committee on Information from non-self-governing territories and requested the Special Committee to study the information transmitted under Article 73E of the Charter of the United Nations. At the same session and at each subsequent session, the General Assembly, after considering the report of the Special Committee, adopted a resolution by which it renewed the mandate of the Special Committee. At its 35th session, the General Assembly, on the basis of a recommendation of a Special Committee, adopted Resolution 35/118 of 11th of December 1980, the annex to which contained the plan of action for the full implementation of the Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and its Peoples. At its 43rd session, the General Assembly adopted Resolution 4347 of November 1988, by which it declared the period between 1990 to 2000 as the International Decade for the Eradication of Colonialism. At its 46th session, the General Assembly, in its Resolution 46181 of 19 December 1991, adopted as a plan of action for the International Decade for the Eradication of Colonialism the proposals contained in the annex to the report of the Secretary General dated 13 December 1991. The plan stated that the Special Committee, with the cooperation of the administering powers, should prepare periodic analysis of the progress and extent of the implementation of the Declaration, review the impact of the economic and social situation on the constitutional and political advancement of non-self-governing territories, organized during the decade seminars in the Caribbean and Pacific regions alternatively, as well as at the United Nations headquarters to review the progress achieved in the implementation of the Plan of Action, with the participation of the peoples of these non-self-governing territories, their elected representatives, the administering powers, member states, regional organizations, specialized agencies, non-governmental organizations and experts. In addition, the Special Committee was to continue to seek as a matter of priority the full cooperation of the administering powers with regard to the dispatch of United Nations visiting missions to non-self-governing treaties, and with the cooperation of the administering powers make every effort to facilitate and encourage the participation of representatives of non-self-governing territories in regional and international organizations, as well as in the specialized agencies of the United Nations system, the Special Committee itself, the other United Nations decolonization bodies. At its 55th session, the General Assembly adopted a resolution 55146 of committee in updating it as necessary, with a view to using it as the basis for a plan of action for the third international decade. At its 68th session on 11th December 2013, the General Assembly, after considering the report of the committee, adopted Resolution 6897, in which it approved the report covering the committee work in 2013, including the program of work envisaged for 2014, and requested the Special Committee to continue to seek suitable means for the immediate and full implementation of the declaration, and in particular, to formulate specific proposals to bring about an end to colonialism and to report thereon to the General Assembly at its 69th session, to continue to examine the implementation by member states of Resolution 1514 and other relevant resolutions on decolonization, to continue to examine the political, economic and social situation in the non-self-governing territories and to recommend, as appropriate, to the General Assembly the most suitable steps to be taken to enable the populations of those territories to exercise their right to self-determination, including independence, in accordance with the relevant resolutions on decolonization, including resolutions on specific territories, to develop and finalize as soon as possible, and in cooperation with the administrating powers and the territory in question, a constructive program of work on a case-by-case basis for the non-self-governing territories to facilitate the implementation of the mandate of the Special Committee and the relevant resolutions on decolonization, including the resolution on specific territories. To continue to dispatch visiting and special missions to the non-self-governing territories in accordance with the relevant resolutions on decolonization. Let us now talk about other activities of the Special Committee. The Special Committee on Decolonization examined two non-self-governing territories, New Caledonia and French Polynesia, and approved resolutions reaffirming the right of the peoples of these territories to determine their own future at its 8th meeting held on 26th June 2015. In its 4th and 5th meeting, the Special Committee, known formally as the Special Committee on the Situation with regard to the implementation of the Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Peoples and the Peoples, also approved a number of other documents, including the conclusions and recommendations of its recent Caribbean Regional Seminar, held in Nicaragua in May. On the Pacific island of New Macedonia, which is administered by France, the Special Committee approved a resolution by which the General Assembly would note that the territory had entered into its most seminal phase with a historic status referendum slated to take place in 2018. In that connection, it would encourage France and the peoples of New Caledonia to address in an amicable way concerns relating to the electoral process, which lingered despite a 5th June agreement reached on the matter. The Department of Political Affairs is a department of the United Nations which advises the United Nations Special Committee on Decolonization, also known as Committee of 24, whose role is to assess progress in decolonization and make recommendations to the General Assembly on ways to help eliminate all remaining vestiges of colonialism. Department of Political Affairs, Decolonialization Unit monitors political, economic and social development in each of the non-self-governing territories on the United Nations list and prepares reports in each territory. It also works with the Department of Public Information to prepare informational materials for the territories explaining the options available to them in moving towards full self-government based on the UN Charter. It provides the substantive advice for the Special Committee and the General Assembly, where petitions from the territories speak about the concerns and the aspirations of their people. The DP also assists the Special Committee in developing programs of work towards the decolonization of individual territories. It provides political advice for the Special Committee on visits to territories considering shedding their colonial status, as well as for decolonization seminars held annually in the Pacific or the Caribbean, bringing together territory representatives and members of the Special Committee. It also maintains the United Nations website on decolonization. Let us conclude this discussion that the efforts are going on to give countries status of the United Nations program on decolonization. Rights against decolonization are a group right because it is a right not of a person but of a people who later become a nation. It is a facet of right to development because to be independent from colonization is also part of the right to development. There are various institutions like the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, which help the developing countries to become developed. But to what extent they help the developing countries is to be examined. This is done in our next discussion. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.